to be, we have to execute our sets and do it at an efficient rate. And they also want to be intentional about getting touches to their post players and making sure they're bearing their defenders.
And to your point, Autumn, 6 of those turnovers were in the second quarter.
Yeah, just mucking it up in the paint. We had a lot of deflections. We know Carl Smesco and the Dream want to be intentional getting the ball inside.
That was knocked off the leg for Bree Jones from Natasha Howard, able to retrieve it back. Jordan Canada with 4 on the shot clock, pulls up, can't hit.
You saw it on that possession alone, the high-low with BG and Brianna Jones, constantly trying to get it into Brianna Jones. So Indiana realizing that she's lethal in that paint, they're going to try and take that away as much as possible.
Kelsey Mitchell off the deck, pulls up. I don't know if there's many that can do it the way that she does. She's so quick getting to her spots on the floor.
I mean, whether you switch or you follow her, she can hurt you and she reads the defense so good. You go over the top, she can put the ball on the ground and get to the rim and beat you there. If you go under, it's too much space for her shot.
Gray returns the favor.
How did Alicia Gray even get that one to go in? It was off balance going to the left.
So Indiana turns the ball over there.
But look at this by Alicia Gray. So she comes around the screen, loses Colson, and this is that first step I'm talking about. If you follow around the screen, you can usually beat the defense, and that's exactly what Gray does. She creates some separation. And there was a little bit of contact on that, but she got that one to go.
Indiana coming in at 4-4, having their 5th consecutive game without Caitlin Clark, who is still out due to the left quad. We're told from Stephanie White earlier today that she is making progress, trending in the right direction. And the most important thing is keeping her healthy for the long run as she fixes her eyebrow.
What do you think she's writing down over there?
I don't know.
Caitlin got
probably
notes.
the spots that she can probably score on the floor the next time she's available.
Like, what is she writing down over there?
Or maybe something from State Farm. Natasha Howard surveying the floor.
She's probably measuring the distance from logos where she can shoot at.
I wouldn't be surprised. Natasha Howard pulling up and can't connect there. Natasha Howard right now with 5 points, 2 for 4 from the field. Alicia Gray able to put on the Jets. She gets fouled, she'll shoot 2.
So again, just looking at the halftime stats, we talked about the points in the paint and we talked about the fast break points. And you can only imagine that at halftime, Carl Smesco said, put your foot on the pedal and do this a bit more, Alicia Gray. She gets Hall on her hip, and that's where the contact comes, but it's the right call. But that's when being the aggressor plays into your favor. Alicia Gray, the last few positions, that's exactly what she's been doing, 2 feet in the paint, drawing the foul.
And something that we've grown accustomed to for Atlanta is seeing their pace in the open floor. Alicia Gray really forcing the issue and not allowing Indiana to get set. This is a team that is 2nd in scoring in the W.
Yeah, and it's mostly done in transition. When you don't allow the defense to get set up, you usually have a mismatch or you outnumber them.
Alicia Gray splits the pair. Does give Atlanta the 1-point edge. Kelsey Mitchell pulls up. Nothing on the triple. Ryan Howard thought about the 3, thought again, sends it back. Good defense on the Bree Jones dive to the basket. Now one-on-one coverage between Aaliyah Boston and Brittany Griner. Griner tried to spin it in. Great defense by AB. Here comes Natasha Howard. All the way to the rim, rolls that one in.
Yeah, Howard can do just that. Somebody fell asleep defensively, didn't run the floor with her, but she took it all the way in transition from the rebound to the rim.
Natasha Howard averaging 11, close to 12 points a game.
Double team comes, 3-point goes up.
While many say, is that a shot that you're okay with? For Carl Smesco, yes. Brittany Griner has been, couldn't connect on that one there.
We saw her knock down 2 back-to-back in preseason, and it got all of us excited. Hasn't knocked one down since, but we know that she can hit it and stretch the floor.
Yeah, just 1 for 6 in the regular season. Great defense in the paint for Atlanta. The kick out for Hull, no good. Hull, who was averaging her career best double figures this season at 10, has yet to score in this ball game.
That's because her and Ryan are playing each other. They're playing each other hard. Howard only has 2 points in this one, and they get switched off on each other quite a few in this game.
Sydney Colson with the assignment of Ryan Howard. Ryan going to the bucket, can't connect. More speed. Natasha Howard pulled Naz Hillman, and that goes to the third row.
Again, the defense by Jordan Canada, though, and take the ball out. Now the defense for Atlanta can get set.
Defense.
Kelsey Mitchell gets blocked by Gray. She can do it all. Check the list. Another box.
She must have changed the goggles out at halftime again. Laser focus on these.
Those have some new technology as Bree Jones, like a bowling ball, out of the way.
And that's the right.
Double doubles, a career best and a franchise best.
And that's why they're sending double teams at her. That's the respect that she commands because she does her work so early and she's so smart around the paint.
This has the makings of another great one between these two teams. Gone back and forth with the lead. And Jordan Canada too handsy on the take from Erin McDonald.
He's been really working at the defensive end.
Ryan Howard rips down her third rebound of the night. Ryan Howard has been quiet from the field, just 2 points. And Nia Coffey drains it from the corner. That'll lead to a timeout. Stephanie White not happy about that defensive series from Indy.
The Dream can definitely use her speed and quickness out here on the court.
A timeout was called in the previous play for Indiana because of a corner 3 for Nia Coffey. That was the first bucket off the bench for Atlanta.
And again, a deflection by Nia Coffey turns it over to get the steal. Look at Erin McDonald, mouse in the house on Naz Hillman.
Offensive foul, Erin McDonald standing her ground.
If it's one thing that Erin McDonald is, it's strong. She's only 5'6", but look at her stand her ground. Naz Hillman is strong, and she doesn't give anything, and she just absorbs the contact, takes it in the chest right here. And, ooh, she took one for the team, but got the ball back offensively for the Fever. Steph White just couldn't speak enough about Erin McDonald, how she was just ready to step back on the floor and lead this team.
I love the fact that she said with more practice time, we're able to see and get a rhythm with the people that are available. And for Erin, being disruptive, but also the natural point guard position has helped.
Good job by Bree Jones defensively. She pushed Boston all the way underneath the basket. She had nowhere to go.
Aaliyah Boston 3 for 9, 7 points. And on the other end, Atlanta continues to pile it on the inside. Indy looking for buckets as Naz Hillman looks like she'll pick up her third foul.
And look at this right here. Bree Jones doing her work early. So she gets Natasha Howard on the left side. And the chemistry that Bree Jones and Alisha Gray have formed, that pass was right on target into the interior for Jones, and she was able to corral it.
And another turnover for Indiana. That is their 7th. They have not been very productive, only 4 points in the last 7 minutes for them. Bree Jones put back again, goes off the glass, count it!
Should have been an and one because she was definitely fouled the first time. And she is putting in work. Brianna Jones with 17, excuse me. She leads all scorers in this game.
Atlanta outscoring Indiana 12-4 in the third. And an offensive foul for Aaliyah Boston, who is
the defense and not get beat on that first step. That's usually what happens. You cut off the person who's penetrating, or you're going to get that offensive foul.
Damiris Dantas will come in for Aaliyah Boston, who now has 3.
Women say, let's go!
If you're just joining us here in the second half, it has gone all Atlanta way. We were tied at 33. And Indiana has not scored in their last 7 possessions.
Well, the defense for Atlanta has really ramped up. I mean, every time defensively, they've either had a deflection or a steal or a stop and forced them too far underneath the basket. They just picked it up another notch in this third quarter.
Gray, the dish. Brittany Griner, the pass and the make.
You know, BG, I still think she's got some dunks left in her. I want to see her dunk that one. Like,
Well, I think that's what she's saying her knees feel like when it happens.
Oh, you're right.
11-0 run for Atlanta. This is their biggest lead, up by 10. Dantas brings that to a close with the triple.
Yeah, Damaris Dantas, she did a bit of that for us in Atlanta some years back, and that's her first field goal of the game, but she still can make it.
Nas Hillman saw no one in the house, so decided to let herself in.
Yeah, Dewana Bonner was late recovering defensively, but it was too late. Nas Hillman was already at the rim.
Another steal. Here comes Ryan Howard. One to beat. Meet you at the top and couldn't connect. Nia Coffey tried to clean it up and nothing there. It will stay with Atlanta.
Just so frustrating, the easy points missed right at the rim, but a good job by Nas Hillman not missing at the rim. She just takes it on Dewana Bonner and doesn't let Bonner's
the layup, just sitting at 2 points. But Atlanta still finding ways to score. Nia Coffey, they'll say Lexi Hull was impeding the process, so Lexi Hull now in 4.
I don't know how many times I've seen Hull on the ground. I'm just surprised she doesn't have more court burns on her. She's just hit the deck so many times in this game because she's just so tough and relentless.
She is so tough. It's one of my favorite players to watch in the W because she is everywhere. And don't let her fool you.
Yeah.
She definitely has the respect of everyone that she has to guard as well.
That stat line does not reflect the impact that Lexi Hull has on the court.
9 on the shot clock, more movement. Nia Coffey triple. Couldn't connect on that one. This has been the worst three-point performance for Atlanta, and they're still up 9.
But again, in their win that they did get in Indiana, they didn't shoot the 3-ball well either.
Dewana Bonner lined them up. She can extend the range that deep, but that was in and out.
Excellent job by Alicia Gray with that first step. She beat the defense, and that's going to force Steph White to adjust some things. The players who have been here previously.
So Ryan Howard with a major collision at the top of the key with Damaris Dantas.
And this is going to cause Ryan to take a break. Looks like she kind of bumped. She bumped.
Holding, it seems like it's more on the hip side,
Yeah.
but able to get up and walk it off. Tough as they come, of course.
And it just takes a minute when you get zinged in some of those bones. You know, it's like that funny bone, right? It takes a minute to breathe and absorb.
I wake up and every bone in my body.
Everything. We are at that age.
Dewana Bonner going at Nas Hillman. A lot of different footwork that we saw there, and she couldn't connect on the pull-up.
Great defense by Nas Hillman.
Bree Jones got the double. Nas Hillman just off the mark on the left.
Shot that
Final
shot a
minute.
little too quick.
Final minute, Kelsey Mitchell putting her foot on the gas, found the lane. That's what she can do.
And that's exactly what she's going to try and do, give Atlanta a taste of their own medicine. So you had Atlanta who's been putting the ball on the floor, which is why they were able to get this lead.
So a technical
All over the place. So I respect her as a player, but respectfully on both ends, it's been some missed calls and some contact that they've allowed to let go. It's been that way in all 3 games. I don't even want to touch the last game because that was so weird down the stretch between these two. But it's been called.
Atlanta won the first game against Indiana at their place, 91-90. Then on a back-to-back, they had them with the Indiana Fever returning the favor, 81-76. And Alicia Gray saying, we're going to take that one back. We'll get it here in the third.
Just the balance that Gray had. The pass was over her head. She was going right. She shot it back left, and it was nothing but net.
About a 7-second difference between the game and shot clock. Atlanta can hold it for the final shot. Six to work with. JC up top. The dive, Bree Jones off the glass, yes, for Bree Jones.
That was beautifully read, and it's gonna put up Atlanta up by 14.
Round since the first quarter, they are now shooting 46%, where they were shooting 36%.
Yeah, they turned their defense into offense. They had 3 steals alone in that third quarter. But I remember saying deflection, deflection, deflection several times.
Jordan Canada with the first look out of the timeout, or rather the break, as we start the fourth quarter. Couldn't connect. As Ari McDonald strong on the take, and the whistle blew. She kept going, and another foul for Jordan Canada.
I tell you, they are friends off the court. All of these players, you'll see them hug after, but on the court, there is no love lost. The ref had to blow the whistle again 3 different times, and Jordan Canada still defended Ari McDonald. This has been personal for these players out here on this court.
I mean, at times they play with each other, whether it be overseas. How about Nas Hillman and Lexi Hull actually playing together and unrivaled, winning the inaugural chip there for Roses? Lexi Hull still looking for her first bucket of the night.
Big time rebound by Ryan Howard, though. Got in there and got over 2 defenders. Boston and box her out, so that's how it's supposed to work.
A lot of pressure at the top of the key for Kelsey Mitchell on Jordan Canada. Had to give it up. 5 on the shot clock. Ryan Howard was tripped up. If they say it's on Lexi Hull, that will be her 5th. It has been a difficult, frustrating night for Lexi Hull.
You know, I will say this. When she was in the first half and had only 2 for that half, I was surprised because I had heard her name defensively so many times on the defensive end. I'm surprised she hasn't reached 6 yet. But again, they're going to sit her down because they know they need her down the stretch as they try to get this lead back down to single digits.
Well, it's not bad when you can bring in a WNBA top 25 and DeWanna Bonner off the bench to relieve her.
Bonner with just 5 points tonight, talking to Stephanie White before the game about her finding her groove with this team.
Nia Coffey thought about it too long and studied wrong. Turns the ball over there. That'll be at
Howard was out there defending her because she commands respect behind the arc.
Indiana looking for some points. This is the biggest lead for Atlanta at 14. Ryan Howard has seen a little bit of everyone for Indiana. The switch. Kelsey Mitchell got what she wanted. Bree Jones. The triple and wide right.
Excellent defense between Ryan Howard and Bree Jones.
Bree Jones going at her former teammate off the glass. I don't know if she's seen that one before.
Just so impressive with her athleticism, her moves.
Solid screen at the top of the key against Natasha Howard, who's brought back up by Ryan Howard.
But look at this move in transition. Bree Jones with the in and out on her former teammate, just takes it to them work angels. 7 rebounds, or 5, excuse me.
Clear out as Kelsey Mitchell getting her easiest bucket of the night. Kelsey Mitchell with 10 points, the only player for Indiana in double figures. Ari McDonald has not scored in the second half. Alicia Gray, on the other hand, has.
Beautiful give and go, and this is what we're talking about when we say move without the ball in your hands.
Kelsey Mitchell in and out. Gnashing on the baseline. Howard going against Hillman and rolls that one in.
Yeah, Nas Hillman didn't want to get the foul on that one, played it straight up, and Natasha Howard too good over the shoulder. 9
points now for Natasha Howard. Plenty of time left. Atlanta hoping to get back in the win column, dropping their last one after going on a 3-game win streak. And actually a 4-game win streak. So
yeah.
A travel call, back-to-back travels for Atlanta. So they're saying it will go against Atlanta for the foul. Her 4th.
I'm gonna say this, everybody's gonna need some Epsom salt and ice bath, some Vicks Vapor Rub, because it has been rough, to say the least, out here.
All the things. Nia Coffey with a lot of pressure at half court commits another foul. That is the 4th for
A lot of time. This is almost 7 minutes left in the game. These are all pros. If you're Nia Coffey, you don't want to commit that foul way up there. It's not necessary.
Another look. You have to think that has been the assignment. Stephanie White pleased with how they've been getting inside touches. The last few series going to Natasha Howard. Nia Coffey this time.
Bingo.
And that's why you shoot it.
Bingo. Jordan Canada, by being aggressive and getting 2 feet in the paint, the defender had to come over because of what she did the play before that. So what does JC do now? She kicks it out to an open Nia Coffey.
Nia Coffey has knocked down 2 of Atlanta's 3 threes this evening. Jordan Canada will not be denied, but they will say the wraparound with that offhand is an offensive foul.
But I like what
and work the actions until they can find a good, efficient look.
Thanks, Autumn. Well, we were just told that the challenge was successful, or unsuccessful, for Atlanta. So Indiana got it back underneath, and as Brittany Griner tried to save it off of Aaliyah Boston.
So here's where Atlanta's got to be careful. So they challenged the call. It was a salvaging play, which stopped the momentum that Atlanta had, where they were getting the offense going their way, and defensively they were turning the fever over. Now they've got to be intentional about their shot selection, intentional about getting each other involved.
So to clarify, Tab, and that's my error, they did say that it was a successful challenge for Atlanta. They counted the bucket, and Indiana received the ball out of bounds because of the made bucket. So we play on. 5:24 left.
Stay here. Street ball.
It will stay with Atlanta. It's relentless getting to the glass. But to your point, does she get away with it moving forward? I'm not so certain.
But I like that the refs did, right? Like it's been that way the entire game, so they've kept it consistent.
Nia Coffey thought about it, instead dishes it off to Brittany Griner, is fouled by Aaliyah Boston. Lexi Hull returning to the scorer's table as she checks in. So Dewana Bonner will take a seat, and Aaliyah Boston remaining in the game with 4, Lexi Hull with 5. Jordan Canada waiting for it, needs help, finds Gray. 4 on the shot clock, turnaround by Brittany Griner, and that is textbook offense.
Yeah, she knew the double team was coming to her right side, so what did she do? She turned over her left shoulder instead and just took it one-on-one over Howard.
19-point lead for the Dream. Ryan Howard said, not tonight. Jordan able to save it back in bounds, flies into the second row. Ryan Howard, triple. Couldn't connect. Jordan Canada, chill out. We just got you back.
Howard would have hit that 3. This place would have erupted.
Gone nuts.
Look at the scoring. 6 points for the Fever in this quarter.
Howard gets it again. And a foul on the arm that may be confusing if you're looking at the box score.
Yeah.
And you see Atlanta up by 19. Ryan Howard only has 2 points. Jordan Canada only has 4 points. They were shooting 20% from 3. They've only knocked down 3. And yet, they have this lead. It's because of what we talked about earlier in the game and the balance that we've seen.
Absolutely. When your Ryan Howard isn't on one night because she's defending one of the best players, or she's got 5 assists and 5 rebounds, so she's doing a lot of other things, she can focus on her defense and focus on those hustle plays because she has a scorer in Alisha Gray and a scorer in Brianna Jones who can back her up.
Ryan Howard, who has been very vocal about being on the all-defensive team, is leading this team in steals. A jump ball will take place. In just 16 points this half.
They had 9 points in the third quarter. Like you said, it was a season low. Only 6 so far in this quarter, and that's credit to Atlanta's defense. They really picked it up in this second half. We talked about the third quarter, how they put their foot on the pedal and they turned their defense to offense. They had 3 steals in the third quarter alone, but they had multiple deflections that turned into points at the other end.
Whatever was said for the coaching staff and Carl Smesco for Atlanta, they have turned it around here in the second half, outscoring Indy 34-16. Under 4 minutes to play to close out the game. 8 seconds on the shot clock with the jump ball between Kelsey Mitchell and Alisha Gray. Goggles wins. But a cough up by Shatori Walker-Kimbrough as there's a foul on the trip call against Shatori.
And inadvertent as well. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough pleading her case, but it had to be called because it impeded the movement of the offensive player. So Walker-Kimbrough, when she tried to corral this ball, you can see here it gets tipped to her. She loses her balance. And right there with that left leg, she sticks it out and it trips Ari McDonald, which impedes her movement. Had to be called.
So with that foul, the team is now over the limit. Ari McDonald will step up for 2 free throws. In and out for her.
Can I just talk about how proud I am of Ari McDonald? I know she's no longer playing for the Dream, but just having to work her way on and off rosters and staying ready and not having to get ready, but also coming out here and competing, just putting her head down and not taking it lightly. I really hope she gets picked up, if released, by the Fever in the near future.
It's been fun to watch her. We had the 3 seasons with her in Atlanta after being the 3rd pick in 2021. Out of Arizona, where she was a phenom, as Nia Coffey has been a breath of fresh air off the bench for Atlanta.
Big lineup.
This is the biggest lead.
A semi-big lineup out there, too. You got Naz Hillman and Nia Coffey, both of your 4s out there. Bree Jones at the 5.
Bree Jones trying to fight underneath against Lexi Hull. Ryan Howard, is this it? And it's not. Atlanta does get it back with a foul against Indiana, though.
When you're out there and you're getting hit and you're tired and you're putting forth all this energy and effort, I get it.
Stripped away, Natasha Howard. Able to collect that one. So with that, the thing. But it's interesting to see how Atlanta has grown since then, but Washington has been very good as well. Well, the clutch free throws of the game are sponsored by Free Alas Bail Bonds, a place the people trust when times get tough. As Natasha Howard steps up for another one and can't connect.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game on Sunday. I'm going to miss you.
Oh, I'm going to miss you too. I am.
No, you're not. You're going to be on vacation somewhere in the sun.
I think
not
honestly,
thinking about me.
Maybe, but maybe not. Ryan Howard sending back to Nia Coffey. She's knocked down 3 tonight. Ryan Howard has really struggled from outside. Now, Ryan Howard is leading this team in 3s made. However, the percentage that we've seen from her this year is a career low.
Yeah, it is, and she's also second. She's also second in the league in 3-point makes. And you know, there's never an excuse. But when you talk about a player like Ryan Howard, who has taken it on her shoulders to try to make that all-defensive team and to play multiple positions for this team, it's hard to find a rhythm, and that's something that has to be developed over time, right? And so Ryan Howard, she's taking it upon herself to get better at that point guard position, and she likes the fact that she's leading this team in assists as well.
Leading the team in assists, has done a phenomenal job of being the floor general, and as we saw in the halftime report with Autumn Johnson, just taking it in strides, learning something along the way, and still trying to figure out where her spots are coming from as well. Just 1 for 8 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. That is not something that we have grown accustomed to seeing from Ryan Howard, who is a lethal three-point shooter, and actually in her sophomore season, put up close to 100 threes, had 99.
And it speaks to her maturity, right? Because in just her 4th season, as a player who was a #1 overall pick and a 2-time All-Star, when that gets in your head and you're not scoring the same way, you might want to go out and force the issue and try to get your buckets. But what did she do? She kept the course, and she's still on the course, and she remained steady of getting her teammates involved and allowing them to eat first.
Gotta love it from the leader of the group, Tahina Pow off the bench. Why not? Hands up. And that gets everybody else in the arena on their feet as well.
Pow is so much fun. I mean, a lot of players will come in with nerves in the last 2 minutes of the game, but she came in and banked a 3.
I don't think she has nerves. She just comes in. She is the lightest of the group. She is always laughing. She is so much fun to be around, to watch. I think she wants it back.
Absolutely. And Coach Mesko loves her communication. She's loud, she's vocal.
Going against another Gamecock and champion, and Aaliyah Boston couldn't connect. And a foul as Bree Jones falls to the deck.
Also led the nation in three-point shooting in South Carolina's undefeated season a few years ago.
And off the fingertips of Maya Caldwell, that'll go out of bounds. And one of
the new lineup out there with only Nia Coffey, who's been in the game for the majority of it. So again, the 5 that are out here trying to find some rhythm and chemistry with each other in this last minute and 12 seconds.
20-point game as Atlanta has led the entire, not the entire time, but in the second half has really pulled away. As another foul will be called. Are now on the bench, who they will see next. And that'll be on Friday. They'll see the Chicago Sky, as Indiana will see on Saturday the New York Liberty. So Indiana, you hope with the amount of time that's in between this game and the game that they're going to see the defending champions and undefeated New York Liberty, if they are indeed going to be able to get Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham back on the floor.
2 players that make a heck of a difference for any lineup, but especially for this Fever team.
And Michaela Timpson out of Florida State.
And you're going to hit me with, at least I played.
At least I played.
Political.
And Nia Coffey missing the first free throw for Michaela Timpson to be able to surpass her in the double-doubles and overall rebounds records at Florida State. Having those 2 players on the same roster and to mentor is really cool.
Listen, if I was Natasha Howard, every time I go up against Timpson in practice, I'm showing her who's the real rebounder, okay? You don't come and take over my WNBA, even with expansion. A lot of good players out there. And Erin McDonald just proving her case why she should make someone's roster.
Speaking of expansion teams, I'm not sure if you saw the Valkyries in Aces game, but that's another team that has been able to string things together in the final 2 games, as they had a big one over the Sparks. As this one comes to a close, Atlanta back in the win column, getting this one over Indiana, and in charge.